Have you ever been alone at night and felt like you weren't? Like the shadows in your room had eyes? I was just pulling an all-nighter until midnight when the knocking started. I was knee-deep in assignments, the type you start the night before they're due. You know the drill: coffee, snacks, panic. The last thing I needed was a distraction. Alex glances at the door, confused. Who's knocking at this hour? Delivery guy? Lost? They approach the door, peeking through the peephole. No one is there. It's nothing, I thought. Maybe some prankster. Back to work. They return to their desk, but the faint knock comes again, louder this time. Okay, twice in a row? Now it wasn't funny. I grabbed a baseball bat because, priorities, and opened the door. Nothing, just rain. Alex closes the door, but the camera lingers on the hallway outside. A faint shadow moves. Midnight passed and the knocking stopped, but that's when the real nightmare began. Alex sits back at their desk, trying to focus. A pen rolls off the table on its own. They freeze, staring at it. Must be gravity, or ghosts who hate my study habits. Yeah, because ghosts definitely care about GPA. The lights flicker. Footsteps echo faintly down the hall. It wasn't just me anymore. Something was there, and it wanted me to know. The knocking resumes, but this time it's coming from inside the apartment. Alex panics, checking every room. Each door creaks open to reveal empty spaces. Then the bathroom mirror fogs up, and a message appears. Let me in. That's when I realized I wasn't locked in. It was locked out. My heart was racing. Every sound felt amplified. The dripping faucet, the creaking floorboards, my own breath. Then I heard it, the knock on my bedroom door. Alex grabs their phone, dialing 911. The call doesn't go through. Static bursts from the phone's speaker, and a distorted voice whispers, "You can't escape." I did the only thing I could think of. I hid under the bed, clutching my bat like it was Excalibur. I could hear it moving around, knocking on walls, dragging its nails across the floor. The camera follows the shadow of unseen feet pacing the room. Suddenly, the knocking stops. The silence is deafening. But then, something worse happened. It spoke my name. Alex peers out from under the bed. A pair of feet is standing inches away, but they don't belong to a human. The legs are unnaturally long, covered in dark, slimy skin. This isn't real. This isn't real. I bolted for the door, sprinting down the hallway, not daring to look back. The knocks followed me, louder, faster, closer. It wasn't just one knock anymore. It was dozens. Alex bursts outside into the rain, collapsing on the sidewalk. They look back at the building, expecting to see the creature, but the windows are dark, and everything is silent. I thought it was over. I thought I made it out. They begin walking away, but the camera zooms in on their apartment window. A dark figure watches them leave. But sometimes you don't escape. Sometimes it follows. Alex arrives at a friend's house, drenched and shaking. As they sit down to explain, there's a knock at the door. The friend opens it, confused. "Hey, there's no one here. Did you order something?" Alex looks horrified as a faint knocking begins again, this time from the walls inside the friend's house. If you heard knocking at midnight, would you answer? Being alone in a soundproof room at 3 a.m. with nothing but your voice echoing into the void, it's peaceful until it isn't. Cut to a dimly lit radio studio. The host, Alex, sits behind the mic, sipping coffee, looking tired but professional. The studio is filled with glowing monitors, blinking lights, and an old-school phone on the desk. Welcome back to Night Frequencies, the show where the night owls, dreamers, and insomniacs come to hang. Hit me up with your wildest stories. Don't hold back. Alex leans back as soft jazz music plays. Suddenly the phone rings, a loud, piercing sound that startles them. Okay, that better not be my mom telling me to drink water again. The light humor fades as Alex answers the phone. "You're live on Night Frequencies. What's your story?" A faint, whispery voice comes through the line, barely audible. "They're coming. You have to listen." Alex frowns, leaning closer to the receiver. Okay. Who's coming? Is this a prank? A tragedy is unfolding. You'll hear it soon. Don't ignore the static. They're in the static. The line disconnects with a harsh crackle. Alex stares at the phone, confused before shaking it off. Well, that was creepy and vague. Seriously, if you're going to prank call, at least put in some effort. But as the minutes passed, something felt off. Alex continues talking to the audience, but their voice is interrupted by faint whispers. The studio speakers crackle, and the static grows louder, drowning out the music. Whoa, hold up. Technical issues, folks. Hang tight. They fiddle with the equipment, but the static only gets worse. Among the noise, a faint voice whispers their name. Alex, okay. Either I need more coffee or my equipment is officially haunted. They laugh nervously, but their hands tremble slightly. Note to self, never buy soundboards on discount. Ghosts not included, right? But deep down, Alex knew this wasn't just a glitch. The phone rings again, the sound sharper this time. Alex hesitates before picking it up. The night frequencies. Please don't whisper creepy stuff again. The caller's voice is more frantic now. You didn't listen. They're already here. Look behind you. Alex freezes, eyes darting toward the soundproof glass behind them. It's dark, but something faintly moves, a shadow shifting in the reflection. This isn't funny anymore. The studio lights flicker. The static on the monitors forms distorted faces, their mouths moving as if speaking. The warnings weren't random. They were specific, and Alex was the target. Desperate, Alex begins searching online for anything about strange calls or static phenomena. They find old forums discussing ghostly voices linked to tragic deaths. Every case had one thing in common. The victims ignored the warnings. Suddenly, all the screens in the studio shut off. The phone rings again, louder, more urgent than before. Alex doesn't want to answer, but feels compelled. Who are you? You ignored us. Now they'll show you. The line goes dead. The door to the studio creaks open slowly, though Alex locked it earlier. The camera pans to the dark hallway, where faint whispers echo louder and louder. Alex stares at the hallway, heart pounding. A figure emerges, a blurry, shadowy entity, its face contorted at static is just noise until it starts talking back. Sound of thunder, heavy rain, and a howling wind. A lone car drives along an empty, desolate highway. The headlights illuminate a rundown motel, its neon sign flickering weakly. Ever feel like your life's just one bad decision away from disaster? For me, it was a rainy night, an empty road, and a motel with a locked door that should have stayed locked. The car stops in front of the motel. The driver, a weary traveler, gets out, glancing at the motel with suspicion. I should have trusted my gut when I saw the place. But after driving for hours, what else could I do? It was either this or sleep in my car. Sam walks into the dimly lit motel lobby. The receptionist, an older man with a tired face, looks up. "Room 303, he said, eyes narrowing. "You don't want that room. It's been locked up for decades." He wasn't joking. Sam looks confused but shrugs, dismissing the odd warning. I mean, who wouldn't be curious, right? A creepy old motel with a locked room? It was basically begging me to open it. The receptionist hands over the key to room 305, but Sam glances back at the hallway, noticing the door to room 303. Of course, that was the moment I made the worst decision of the night. I decided to take a quick look. I wasn't going to open the door, just peek. What's the worst that could happen, right? The camera focuses on the door to room 303, which has an eerie, almost unnatural stillness. The traveler takes a hesitant step forward, but then I heard it, a faint sound from inside. Faint whispers and the sound of furniture moving can be heard through the walls. At first I thought it was just the wind, the house settling, but no, this was something else, something alive. Okay, maybe it wasn't the best idea to investigate, but when curiosity takes over, you know the feeling? You just can't stop yourself. So I turned the knob. The door creaked open. The door slowly opens to reveal a dusty, abandoned room. A single flickering light bulb swings overhead. The air feels unnaturally cold. Nice. Nothing like a flickering light and a chill that feels like the grave to make you feel at home. Suddenly, a loud bang from the room sends the traveler stumbling back, but they quickly compose themselves. Sam steps into the room, inspecting the surroundings. An old cracked mirror on the wall reflects their face, except the reflection is smiling at them, even though they are not. That was not normal. I could see it, grinning at me from the mirror. The reflection? It wasn't me. Sam backs away, but the reflection keeps smiling. The light flickers violently, and the door slams shut behind them. It wasn't just the room that was haunted. Something was inside me, too. Something that made my heart race, my skin crawl, and my mind unravel. Leave or be trapped forever. You know, maybe I should have listened to the receptionist. I was just trying to get some sleep. But no, now I'm fighting for my life. Sam's face, now drenched in sweat. They desperately try to open the door again, but a figure appears in the corner of the room. The figure, it wasn't human. It looked like a shadow, but solid, and it was getting closer. The air grew thick, heavy, suffocating. The figure takes a step forward. The traveler backs into a corner, breathing heavily, clutching the key in their hand. I didn't have time to think. I grabbed the key and I ran. The figure lunges at them, but the traveler manages to unlock the door and escape, slamming it shut behind them. Sam running down the hallway, glancing back in terror. As they look back at the door to room 303, they see the shadow of the figure staring at them through the window. Some doors shouldn't be opened, some rooms should stay locked forever, and some things shouldn't follow you when you run. Did I escape, or did I bring something back with me? You'll find out soon enough, if you're brave enough. Imagine this. You're lost. The sun's gone down, and the woods are alive with something, but not with the kind of life you're hoping for. What would you do if the shadows started calling your name? Would you run, or would you listen? Because Alex did, and what happened next is something you'll never forget. It started with a wrong turn. Alex, a 24-year-old nature enthusiast, set out for a solo hike, seeking a break from the chaos of city life. But what they found wasn't peace. It was something far darker. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the woods transformed, shadows stretched, the air chilled, and every sound felt wrong. Okay, stay calm. It's just trees, and then a whole lot of nothing. Wait, did someone just say my name? Nah, it's just the wind, right? Please tell me it's the wind, or a forest ghost with excellent pronunciation skills. The whispers become more frequent and louder, surrounding the hiker. Alex shines their flashlight nervously into the trees. The whispers weren't just faint sounds anymore. They grew louder and closer, like a swarm of voices circling Alex from every direction. A cabin? Oh, thank God. People, or at the very least, shelter. That's got to be better than this horror movie forest, right? Alex approaches cautiously, the light flickering like it's alive. The whispers fade as they near the door, replaced by an eerie silence. The silence was worse. It clung to Alex like a second skin, but anything was better than the forest. Or so they convinced themselves. Door creaks open. Inside the cabin is empty but oddly pristine, with a single rocking chair swaying as though recently occupied. Okay, creepy chair, creepy light, no people. Definitely not weird at all. The door slams shut behind them. The lantern flares brighter, casting distorted shadows on the walls. The camera pans across the cabin as the shadows twist unnaturally, forming figures that seem to reach for Alex. But the cabin wasn't empty. It was alive, with something ancient, Something watching. A loud knock echoes from inside the cabin, followed by a chilling laugh. "Who's there? What do you want?" The whispers return, louder than ever, now coming from within the walls. The rocking chair stops suddenly. "You shouldn't have come here, Alex." And that's when they saw it. A figure in the corner, shrouded in shadows, its eyes glowing faintly. It wasn't human. It wasn't anything Alex could name. The figure lunges toward Alex. Did Alex escape the cabin? Or did the forest claim another soul? Maybe you'll find out the next time you hear your name whispered in the dark. Do you dare to hike alone? Let us know in the comments if you survive.